Here's to that unmistakable feeling of momentum. You know, the kind where you feel like you're on top of the world, destined for greatness.
In order to free yourself up, like, you just have to take off that emergency brake. And it's like, I don't give a damn mentality.
At any given moment, we're ready to pick each other up, and it's really just clicking a lot in postseason.
That's strike three. A relief performance for the ages.
Here's to coming out on top.
Way back and gone. Carly Petty comes through.
Rallying together for another day forward.
Welcome to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. The second game of our doubleheader here from OKC on day 3 of the World Series. And earlier today, the Sooners on ABC, led by Jocelyn Otto and Tiare Jennings, pulled past a game Texas team with a big 5th inning, a 7-2 win, and Oklahoma is 1-1 away from the championship series. 6 teams remain here in Oklahoma City. UCLA awaiting the loser of this game tomorrow. Arizona, Texas, those are elimination games. The winner of this game will join OU in the semis with a day off and need just 1 win to advance to the championship series. The stage is set for a great Saturday night. We are so delighted to be with you. Kevin Brown, 2-time All-American, Amanda Scarborough alongside me, Andrea Carter down on the field as well. It is not an elimination game, but it kind of feels like one. The winner needs just 1 win in 2 potential games on Monday to advance to the national championship series. The loser will need to beat UCLA tomorrow and then Oklahoma twice to advance. That's a tall task, which means tonight is a big game. And let's start with the Florida Gators, Amanda, the lone remaining SEC team who came through with some speed and also a little bit of power on Thursday night.
Yeah, the Gators offense is built off of speed. They have over 130 stolen bases, but Charlotte Eccles was a player who stuck out to me against Oregon State. She hit a home run, she hit a triple. Now this is a player that last season hit 15 home runs, only 5 this season. But if she could get hot and hit bombs like that, this could be an even hotter Gator team. 59 RBIs this season for Charlotte.
Third highest scoring team total in the NCAA tournament, the Gators, behind only Oklahoma and Northwestern. A big jump in the NCAA tournament for them. More than 2 runs per game compared to their regular season, but they're going to face maybe the best remaining pitcher in the NCAA tournament, the first-team All-American Kelly Maxwell.
Yeah, Kelly Maxwell, it's always a treat to see her pitch and get the ball in the circle all year long. She has had strikeout after strikeout. She is the best swing and miss stuff left in the Women's College World Series. 14 strikeouts against Arizona. She'll move the ball up, she'll move the ball down, she will change speeds. She is so fun to watch pitch because she is deceptive and her ball dances all over the strike zone.
The big home run came from Carly Petty on Thursday night for Oklahoma State. A 4-2 win. They've won their last 9 games after they ended the regular season losing 5 in a row to Florida State and to Oklahoma. That 9-game win streak including a win over Oklahoma on this field in the Big 12 championship. Time for tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. And we begin with the Gators at 49-17. Top of the order has done most of the damage for Florida in the postseason, but on Thursday it was Cheyenne Lindsay 3 for 3 out of the number 6 spot. Katie Kistler and Avery Gels each with 2 hits in the 7 and 9 positions for the Gators. So Oklahoma has already moved on to the national semis. One of these teams will join the Sooners there and get a day off tomorrow. And unsurprisingly, after a day of rest, Kenny Gajewski goes back to Kelly Maxwell. 4 starts in the NCAA tournament, Amanda, and double-digit strikeouts in all 4.
And she seems to get better whenever runners get on base. Kelly Maxwell has just been nails this NCAA postseason.
Another outstanding crowd on hand. A lot of folks wearing orange on the left side, but a vocal Gator contingent as well. Many of them all the way from Gainesville. Kendra Falby, the super speedy freshman, will lead it off, and away we go on Saturday night with ball one from Maxwell. 6:06 local time here in Oklahoma City. This June the 4th, 2022. Gators the number 14 overall seed. The Cowgirls number 7. 2-0 for Falby, who has had one of the great freshman years in the country. .398 batter, .451 on base, 36 steals to tie a Florida freshman record. And there is a bunt from Falby, and there is a bunt base hit. It's strength versus strength to start. Maxwell against the Florida short game, and the early advantage to the Gators.
This is Gator offense 101 with the speed of Falby up at the top of their order, laying down this bunt. She bunts it right at the end of her bat. Look at where the ball makes contact with the bat. Tim Walton calls that the $3 part of the bat, that she wants to make contact with that bunt to just deaden it out in front of home plate. And for a left-handed pitcher like Maxwell, that play is nearly impossible with the speed of Falby.
A bunt base hit, and now we anticipate Falby will try and take second at some point. Florida has been absolutely crazy this season bunting for a hit. Better than 75% of their bunt at bats, not including sacrifices. That's the 55th bunt base hit total. Many of them for Falby, many of them for Hannah Adams as well. The former All-American and the 5th year starting second baseman.
And when you think about, too, when you're facing a strikeout pitcher like Kelly Maxwell, one of the best things you can do is just try to make contact, whether it's a bunt, put the ball in play to put pressure on the Oklahoma State defense. When she's piling up 13, 14, 15 strikeouts a game, you're not making them play catch out on defense. You're not giving yourself a chance to get on.
Strike into Adams, who has played in more games than any active player in the nation outside of Florida State's Sydney Sherrill. Her career over, but still considered an active player. Played in 283. Tonight, number 271 for Hannah. And she will draw a walk. Bunt single for Falby. A walk for Adams, and a tough start for Maxwell.
And Maxwell will offer up four different types of strikeout pitches. She is known to go more up in the zone. We've seen her do that her entire career, as well as the curveball. But what has separated her this season is the ability to go more down with her drop ball and then throw that off-speed dropper changeup right there to take 4 or 5 miles an hour off of her hardest stuff.
14 strikeouts on Thursday, all swinging in an early hole. And she'll deliver ball one to Skylar Wallace.
She's continuing to fall behind these hitters. 2-0 count that Falby laid down that bunt single, and then Adams 3-0.
And already Oklahoma State is going to send Morgan Day to the bullpen. 9 pitches, 7 balls. That one's a strike to Wallace. Plate umpire Terry Holt. Naomi Erdahl's at first, Mike Bartling at second, Mike Burnell at third.
And an interesting start, too, for Julia Cottrell, the catcher for Oklahoma State, to get the start against her former team to try to control the run game. That's why Coach Walton told Andrea Carter why he wanted to start her back behind the plate today. They have that speed. He loves her arm. So she gets the call.
A former Gator who transferred here in large part because her father Jeff is an assistant at Oklahoma State under Kenny Gajewski. A lot of connections between these teams. Of course, the 2 head coaches, former teammates, Oklahoma baseball players. There's a strike to Wallace, 2-2.
Excuse me, Kenny Gajewski telling that to Andrea Carter. That's my fault.
Hey, it's not the first time we're going to put Kenny and Tim in the same sentence today.
I knew you were going to say that. Go way back to the 90s.
There's Jeff Cottrell, Julia's dad, watching his daughter behind the plate on a 2-2 for the All-American Wallace. And Skylar puts it in the air to right. Caitlin Carwile is there, and a key first out secured by Maxwell. Wallace a .555 on base percentage, One of the best players in the nation this year, and Maxwell gets past her. There is Kenny Gajewski, who began his softball coaching career under Tim Walton, an assistant at Florida. A couple of World Series titles there. And then was hired after the second of those titles to come to Stillwater, where he's taken Oklahoma State to the World Series 3 consecutive times.
It's early in this game, but you could tell that Kelly Maxwell is just a little bit off early. And if you're Florida, you have to take advantage of this moment. She's throwing a lot of balls. You have 2 runners on base right now. Middle of your order coming up. He's going to try to find the strike zone right here to get back into the count. And a hitter like Eccles can really take advantage of a mistake.
The Gators' RBI leader will put one in the air on the infield. An infield fly for the second out.
I'm going to take a look at this 2-0 pitch that Maxwell offered up to Eccles. I thought this was a pitch that she could barrel up. It is a curveball. Look how on the plate this pitch is, and she just misses it. Not going to get much better than that against Maxwell.
2 down for the freshman, Reagan Walsh. And the first pitch strike of the game thrown by Maxwell. 50 runs knocked in for Walsh, second on the team with 6 home runs. A free swinger. Does have some power. An inning that started with a bunt hit from Falby and a walk from Adams. And an opportunity that you don't get much against Kelly Maxwell. Gators trying to cash in. And that's fouled straight back by Walsh, 1-2.
A good swing right there by Reagan Walsh. Right-handed hitters with 2 strikes against Maxwell, batting 149.
She ended 5 of her 7 innings with a strikeout on Thursday. And Walsh will put one on the ground to short here. Naomi across the way and scooped by Busby. 2 on, nobody out, and Maxwell escapes it. Cowgirl bats coming to the plate next.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
The first inning in this World Series where Kelly Maxwell did not record a strikeout, but she got out of it anyway after a couple of base runners to start. And here is the Oklahoma State starting lineup presented by Capital One. 4, 5, and 6 hitters came up big against Arizona on Thursday night. Miranda Ellis in her 3rd trip to the World Series, 2 for 2 with a walk. Sydney Pennington drove her in with a couple of hits, and Carly Petty had the biggest hit of all, a 3-run game-winning home run in the bottom of the 6th. Oklahoma State had just 6 hits on Thursday night, 5 of the 6 from that middle trio. The big question coming into this game, who would be in the circle for Florida? We were pretty sure it would be Maxwell for Oklahoma State. We were not so sure for the Gators. It is the freshman Lexi Delbray who lasted only an inning plus on Thursday night.
Yeah,
and she throws to Chelsea Alexander.
Tim Walton's been liking the starts that Lexi Delbray has been giving them here late in the season, especially in the month of May. He will be quick to go to his bullpen, though. He won't waste any time. Really liking the outings and relief that Natalie Lugo has had for Florida. I haven't seen Elizabeth Hightower, but one thing that you need to pay attention to with Lexi Delbray in the circle is her command. She is known to walk quite a few hitters, but at the same time, she can get quite a few strikeouts, too. Florida bullpen rocking already.
It is Delbray with about as short a leash as possible. There is Hightower on the right. There is Lugo on the left. There is Trilicek in the center. Tim Walton has confidence in Delbray, but with the season on the line, he will not hesitate to make a move. Alexander flares one into short left field, and Katie Kistler cleans it up. There is Tim Walton. 17th year head coach, Florida Gators, 884 wins, won nearly 82% of his games. The only faster coach to 1,000 wins in Division I history, Mike Candrea. And we've seen here in Oklahoma City, after retiring a year ago, his old team, the Arizona Wildcats, play Texas tomorrow night. That's an elimination game. A lot of big-name schools remaining in this World Series. Oklahoma State and Florida here, each with double-digit appearances in the World Series in their history. The two teams we just talked about, obviously Oklahoma and then UCLA tomorrow afternoon.
Now notice that Delbray will try to find the top of the zone with her rise ball. That's a pitch to me that has the most and best swing and miss movement on it. Very good spin. She throws with decent velocity. Mix the ball down in the zone as well with that drop ball and also a changeup.
Cheyenne Factor out to center field. That is well hit. That is off the wall, eluding the grasp of Falby. Factor with a double, ringing off the wall, which Falby crashed into here in the bottom of the first. And Tim Walton is going to head out to center field and check on Kendra Falby. You can see the mark in the bottom of the wall right there where Falby's foot collided. We have seen Kendra Falby make several absolutely spectacular plays in center field this year. She is as fast as any player in the country. She came close here, and then that right knee and I think even the left cleat ended up on the wall.
Yeah, her right foot seemed to get stuck in between the ground and the new padded wall that they have. This is the first year that we've had these walls here at the Women's College World Series. Completely new outfield wall. Seemed her foot, that left foot that created that mark right there, got stuck in the wall too a bit. Talk about a fearless effort. I mean, that is one of those types of plays that will make a center fielder like Caitlin Lowe and Laura Berg just totally respect a center fielder like Kendra Falby.
Good to see her on her feet and staying in the game. She'll jog over to left center for Caitlin Carwile, Cowgirls' #3 hitter. And a ground ball to first from Carwile. Avery Gels fields it. No play at third. Factor moves down there with 2 down in the first. Stickiest night so far here in Oklahoma City. Beautiful overhead shot. And now a first inning question for Florida. How do you pitch Miranda Elish with 2 outs and a couple of bases open?
Yeah, it's tough because both Elish and Pennington so hot in the game the other night. We've seen the ball well.
Elish has been awesome in the NCAA tournament. 7 for 15, 4 walks, 4 extra base hits. On base all 3 times on Thursday night. Her 3rd trip to the World Series in her career, Miranda Elish. Her 6th game, her 3rd time hitting. She was a pitcher with Oregon in 2017 and 18.
Yes, being able to step into this new role with Oklahoma State, one where she just hits. Starts every game in the cleanup spot as the DP. Won't see her in the circle like we did earlier this year because of an injury, an unfortunate injury for Oklahoma State and her. But she's embracing this role now to be just an everyday hitter and spend the rest of the time in the dugout, not get to go out and play defense. But you know her, she's so competitive, she's so athletic, and so good in the big moments.
Will Delbray give in on 3-1? Oh, she gave her something to hit, little off speed, and Ellis fouled it back. Oklahoma State leader in all 3 slash line categories, Miranda Elish. On base plus slugging, her OPS, that's 1,089 this year. Not afraid to walk. Seventh pitch coming. Elish fights it off. Looked like it would have been ball 4, but she's in protect mode.
Yeah, I think it would have been ball 4 too, but Elish just looking to hit, not looking to walk. She wants to be the one that gets that big hit, plates that first run.
What a full circle career it's been for her. And that is up and in off of Elish's bat. First year she took the softball world by storm, was mainly a pitcher at Oregon. In the World Series with the Ducks, 2017 they made the national semis. 2018 led Oregon here as the #1 seed. And she is down looking to end the bottom of the first. 9 pitches to get her, and a confident start for the true freshman Delbray.
When you start to see the strikeouts for Lexi Delbray, you know she's feeling good. Paints the outside corner and freezes Elish.
Kenny Gajewski in the Oklahoma State dugout, facing his old teammate, his old boss once again. They just can't seem to stop facing each other in the postseason. Kenny and Tim Walton, 1994 teammates of the national champion Oklahoma team. Kenny got his start in softball when Tim Walton hired him, won a couple of championships as an assistant there. And for more on their story, here's Andrea Carter.
Well, Kevin, I talked to Coach Walton, and he told me that their relationship is so much deeper than being on the same staff or being teammates. He said they grew up 6 miles apart from each other. They are cut from the same cloth, and they spent a season together at Cerritos Community College right out of high school. He said, Kenny was my best friend and a big brother. He taught me so much about pitching and baseball. And Kev, get this, when Coach Gajewski left Cerritos, Coach Walton took over wearing his jersey number.
That is so cool, Drea, and it's amazing that these two keep finding themselves on the same postseason stage. 2017 regionals or super regionals, Florida beat Oklahoma State, the World Series in 2019, and here they are again in 2022.
Two highly competitive coaches. Coach up their team so well every year.
Cheyenne Lindsay leading off against Kelly Maxwell. Trying to bunt, and a strike to her from Maxwell, who was not at her crispest in the first inning. Only 1 swinging strike, only 9 strikes out of 20 pitches, no strikeouts in the inning, but got out of it after the first 2 runners reached base. And there's a swing and a miss, and the drop ball for Maxwell. She said it after the game Thursday. She felt like it was not effective, thought her rise ball was about as good as it had been all year.
I saw her use that rise ball more on Thursday, but against Clemson was using that off-speed drop ball in the Super Regional much more. So they're throwing a few too many balls, though, so Maxwell threw 11 balls in the first inning. Against Arizona, she didn't throw her 11th ball until the 3rd inning when the 3-hole hitter for Arizona came up to bat for the 2nd time.
It was less than a ball a batter at that point. This is a patient Florida team, though. Lindsay down swinging. That is a really encouraging sign for Kelly Maxwell. First strikeout for her. So the last time these teams met in the postseason, we mentioned in 2019, it was an epic matchup between Kelly Barnhill and Sam Shao. Oklahoma State had 2 hits, Amanda. That's all they needed. They were both from Shao, who had a couple of homers and also allowed just 1 run in the circle as Oklahoma State won. You remember that game?
I do, yeah. And it was getting Sam Shao to Oklahoma State that helped them bust through to get back to the Women's College World Series. Kenny Gajewski just continuing to get impact transfer after impact transfer into his program.
That Oklahoma State team won that one game in 2019. They won a game last season. They are looking to take the next step here. This is the time to do it with 6 seniors in today's starting lineup and the junior, redshirt junior at that, Maxwell. She just misses. Ball 1 to Katie Kistler.
It's a 1-2 count for Maxwell here, and left-handed hitters are unbelievably hitting .054 against Maxwell with 2 strikes. Only 7 2-strike hits that she has given up to left-handed hitters this season.
Kistler has had herself a tremendous NCAA tournament. A sophomore, first-year starter for the Gators. A chopper here to second, and Petty still only 7 hits to left-handed hitters and 2 strike counts.
We talked about those impact transfers that Kenny Gajewski will get in the transfer portal that continue to make a difference. There's one right there next to him, Carrie Eberly, who was their ace last season. Kelly Maxwell played the number 2 role, but Haley Busby, 26 home runs last season. Allison Febri coming over from Georgia, she hit 20 home runs. Sam Shao, another one. I mean, the list of the impact transfers that have been all-American caliber that have come into this program go on and on, really. I mean, Carrie Eberly there, 26 wins from Virginia Tech. And then Julia Cottrell back behind the plate, coming over from Florida.
A couple of big ones on this team. Obviously, Elish, the Oregon-Texas transfer. Cottrell back there, and Morgan Day, who we've not seen in this tournament, their number 2 starter, transfer from Illinois State. Sam Rowe has been Julia Cottrell's replacement as she stands over the old Florida catcher. The new Gator catcher is a true freshman.
Just seems to get pitchers who can win a lot of games and hitters who hit the ball really hard and really far. That's who I think when he goes to the portal, that's who he's looking to get, along with, I think, all the other 290 coaches in Division I. Also trying to get those players too, but they like to come here. They like to play for him.
Why not? 3 straight years in the World Series. And a strikeout of Rowe. Remember that first inning, Kelly Maxwell? We don't. Couple of strikeouts here. Going to 1, 2, 3, second. Somebody's going to the winner's bracket. Somebody's got a date with UCLA tomorrow. The energy has been awesome all week here at OKC.
Alexander coming to the plate. She got it. I know how to win because I've been the one. And the James Madison Dukes are staying in the winner's bracket.
That was 1 year ago today. Kind of feels like it was just yesterday. The dive, the tag by Odyssey Alexander in the 7th inning on the Chelsea Alexander bunt attempt. And it was Oklahoma State's first loss of the World Series, and they would be out the next day. They had won. Remember, Oklahoma had lost to JMU. The path looked clear for the Cowgirls, but they lost to James Madison. The almost unbelievable play by Odyssey, and we all remember the James Madison side of the story, but Oklahoma State was out very quickly after that day 1 win. So a little extra motivation for them to get farther this year.
Yeah, a play that I'll always remember for the rest of my life, no doubt.
Other side of that, by the way, we're thinking about James Madison. That's a number 22 shirt for Lauren Burnett, who was the other part of that electric battery with Odyssey Alexander last season. Burnett, the catcher for James Madison, a team that brought us so much joy last year. And we're all thinking about James Madison. A lot of folks here wearing 22. Burnett, who died this year, was ruled a death by suicide. James Madison canceled its season shortly thereafter. We're thinking, as we have been really for the past month plus, about James Madison, their program, Lauren and her family, all the players there. And we can't wait to see the Dukes soon, who brought so much joy and so much enthusiasm to our game last year, and we know they will in the future. That is a foul ball. Sydney Pennington leading off the second, scorches one. Almost hit Mike Burnell, the third base umpire.
Yeah, somehow he got out of the way of this drop ball that was coming at him. Wow. The athletic down the line there.
How many times do we see umpires get on SportsCenter Top 10? I'm gonna put in a plug right now.
It's the first time for everything. Or maybe it's happened before.
Well, Sydney Pennington had really struggled at the World Series her first couple of years until Thursday night. And she just took a ball, which she's done twice in this at-bat, after swinging at all 11 pitches she saw on Thursday. Had hits in both of Oklahoma State's scoring innings. And this one out to left field. And respecting her power, Kistler very deep reels it in.
Now batting for the Cowgirls, second baseman number 14, Carly Petty.
Here's your Thursday night hero. Carly Petty delivered her biggest hit of her life with the game on the line. 2 on, nobody out, down 1 in the 6th. A 3-run home run to center against Hannah Bowen. That proved to be the game winner.
And one of those home runs that she'll always remember for the rest of her life. And not very many opportunities that you might get in your entire career to step into that moment and have a chance to impact the game, impact your season. She stepped up. I mean, that was a shot. And her teammates, who had been a little bit quiet before that swing, it seemed to have sparked some energy. And then with that swing, and at the time, I thought it maybe would have woken up a sleeping giant, but
that's a left field here in Kistler. Three flyouts to left induced by Lexi Delbray. Only got 3 outs in her start on Thursday, and Delbray has been much more in control tonight. Here's a graduate student, Haley Busby. All-American a season ago. Slow start to the year, but having a nice tournament. Transfer from Virginia, who hit 19 home runs last year. When Kenny Gajewski was at Florida, he was recruiting Grace Lyons, who would go on to be the Oklahoma shortstop, and Haley Busby was the third baseman on Grace's team. The Arizona Firecrackers kept that relationship going even after Haley went to Virginia. Told us that Busby reminds him of Vlad Guerrero because she will swing at any pitch and she can hit most of them. Swings at this one, sends another one out to left. 3 fly balls to Kistler in the inning. And Lexi Delbray is easily through the second tonight. Still no score in OKC.
Title IX means growing opportunities for female athletes of the present and the future.
It's the opportunity that my mom didn't have growing up, that my grandma didn't have.
Title IX means empowering women to chase their dreams.
The 50-50 campaign is a company-wide initiative commemorating the 50th anniversary of the passing of Title IX. During the month of June, stories will be told in multiple formats, documenting the civil rights journey of women in sports. Back here to Oklahoma City, where the Gators and Cowgirls are here in the third. Round of applause for their military here between innings. Gators will have Avery Gels to lead off the third inning. Had herself a terrific Thursday night. Tied a career high with 3 RBIs, Avery Gels, in the last game of Super Regionals, and then went ahead and did it again in the first game of the World Series. How about those numbers? First 63 games, drove in 13. In the last 2, 6.
When you're getting that kind of production out of the bottom of your order, you're loving every second of it. If you're Tim Walton, 1 through 9, Avery Gels just rounding out the order.
Gels, Falby, and Adams. Gets the lefty Maxwell, who got Gels off balance.
That's a great pitch for her. 61 miles an hour on that pitch. It's an off-speed drop. Also calls it her changeup, but the most important part is that she takes speed off of that pitch from her harder pitches. Kelly Maxwell's swing and miss rate this season was 40%. She is so deceptive, and really, to me, the biggest difference has been that off-speed drop ball or that changeup that she will mix in to set up her other pitches. And when one pitch doesn't work, she has the ability now to go to a different pitch, like you mentioned the other night in her start against Arizona. Off-speed drop ball wasn't working. She goes to that rise.
This is on the ground to short. Kylie Naomi on the run makes the play. One out for Kendra Falby. For more on her story, here's Drea.
Well, you all have talked so much about her speed, and that's what she is known for. And she said that she first learned she was fast in her kindergarten mile fun run. The boys and girls ran together at the very last stretch. She said she put it into full gear, ended up winning, beating the boys. She won back-to-back years. She said she did go on to compete in track and field for a little while as a middle schooler against high school kids. But the kindergarten fun run, guys, that was it.
That picture is awesome, Drea. That is so cool. Kendra Falby was so fun for us to talk to. She ran track in 7th and 8th grade, inspired, of course, by the fun run. Made it to regionals, high school regionals, as a 7th and 8th grader in the 100, the 400, the 4x4, and the long jump. It's 5th place in regionals. As an 8th grader, made it to the States in long jump. And then she couldn't run track as an actual high schooler because that was during the same season, spring track, as softball.
And she can't swing away, too. You saw her do it just right there. She can lay down a bunt. She can slap. Definitely a triple threat and one of the best athletes that you'll see in the tournament. Remember, when a left-handed hitter gets 2 strikes against Maxwell, she's only given up 7 2-strike hits this season.
Falby a bunt single to lead off the game. And a strikeout here. Number 3 for Maxwell. She's retired 8 in a row.
She's
really settled into this game. That first inning was a bit slow for her, but the second and the third innings have definitely looked better. There's that off-speed drop ball again. Just falls off the table. So hard to take this pitch. If you're Falby running through the box, it looks like it's going to be a strike. You chase it and decide to swing, and it moves down.
Hannah Adams. First inning walk for Hannah. 376 hitter on the year, 448 on base.
It was like a speed curveball there. The slowest pitches that we've seen her throw, dropping down to 59.
Working with pitching coach John Barkfeld, one of the great game callers in softball. That's John on the left, Carrie Eberly. Pitched at the World Series here last year, graduate assistant this year next to him. Julia Cottrell gets the signs, and Maxwell executes. And executes well.
This is nasty. I mean, that's why we went back to that first inning when Falby and Adams both reached to start off the game, thinking, we're going to do it. This is a great opportunity. You don't know how many chances you're going to get against Maxwell.
That answer might be 0. Since the single and the walk, 9 have come to the plate against Maxwell, and 9 have gone down.
Yeah, and her off-speed drop ball is now moving. She's able to locate that pitch, throw it in any count, and most importantly, get Florida to chase it.
Well, there is Julia Cottrell, starting catcher on the left, and there is Oklahoma State's hitting coach on the right. He's just left your picture. He shares the same last name as Julia. That's Jeff Cottrell. That's Dad. And there is a young Julia Cottrell playing for the Mustangs, and there is Dad Jeff in the top right-hand corner. Born in Wichita, Kansas, Julia Cottrell. Jeff was one of Kenny Gajewski's first hires. He's been here all 7 years, but Julia forged her own path, went to Florida. Not to play for her dad initially, but to play for Tim Walton. Then after a couple of seasons there, entered the portal and decided to come on back home and play under her father, who's been her lifelong hitting coach. And this season, Julia, in her first year with Oklahoma State, only is really a part-time player of late, leads Oklahoma State with 11 home runs. And Cottrell through the right side. Good teaching, Dad. Good listening, Julia. A leadoff single in the third.
Gets a pitch on the inner half and is able to let it travel, shoots it through the other side. Like that swing. She hits the ball so hard.
Let's check in with Drea.
Well, I talked to Coach Walton about Julia transferring to the Oklahoma State program, and he said it's always hard to lose a player, but he is so happy for her.
There's a bunt from Naomi. She is out at first. Good play by Eccles for the out. Dre, you have more on Julia Cottrell?
Well, just like Coach Walton said, he's really happy for her to be here with someone that he knows is a phenomenal head coach, her family, and her dad.
Yeah, if you're going to lose a player, I guess you might as well lose that player to her dad. Not much you could do about that.
That's a big pickup for not only what she can do back behind the plate, but what she can do in the box when she's hitting.
Here's Alexander. Takes ball 1 from Lexi Delbray. So the second time through the order for Oklahoma State. Chelsea Alexander, career game number 246.
Look at the command that Lexi Delbray is showing in this game. Already made it one time through the order against Oklahoma State and did not walk one hitter.
What's different about Delbray that you noticed compared to Thursday?
Just being able to locate more. It's a bit hit and miss, and even makes Coach Walton just say, kind of throw his hands up and not quite sure what it is when she's on, what it is when she's off. But when she throws strikes and can command her rise ball, that is by far the biggest difference. She can throw that pitch on multiple different levels, throw it at the knees, at the hips, at the shoulders. I mean, that is her pitch that she will go to most often.
In the NCAA tournament, 17 innings, only allowed 4 earned runs. She's walked 18 in those 17 innings, struck out 15.
Yeah, and whenever he will have conversations with her, he'll go out and tell her, especially when she gets in those moments where she's lost her command and might be struggling a bit, just be fun to watch. I mean, that's what he told us that he tells her whenever he goes out and has his mound visits in the circle. But he also told her, hey, if we're going to go to the World Series, it's going to be you. You're the difference maker. You're going to be the reason why.
Here's a 3-2 bunt from Alexander. Safe at first base. Oh, the guts on a 2-strike count. A beautiful bunt.
Talk about the element of surprise. And because she has 2 strikes, Charlotte Eccles is going to be playing just a little bit further back, but you see she's still in front of third base. She's not expecting that at all, and that was a more firm bunt. But because she has the speed, she's able to leg it down. She made sure that she put it down. Even more gutsy of a call to know that you're going up against a pitcher that doesn't have great command on a usual basis. And still on a full count, you choose to bunt.
Now Tim Walton has chosen to use one of his 2 challenges here. As it stands, a bunt hit to put runners at the corners with 1 out. New at the World Series this year, coaches have 2 challenges at their disposal. You don't gain an extra challenge if you get both right, but starting in the 6th inning, umpires can initiate reviews. Not sure there's enough to overturn that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think this is going to be upheld. It's going to stand.
Naomi Erdahl, the first base umpire, had the call of safe, indisputable video evidence is needed to overturn. Just love saying those words.
Have you said that phrase before?
Indisputable video evidence?
Just roll off the tongue now.
I should get one of those Staples Easy buttons where if I press it, it just says indisputable video evidence. Our rules analyst, Christy Cornwell, is with us. Christy, what do you see?
This is a really close play, so the replay officials have to decide the timing of the ball in the glove versus the foot on the base, and they're looking for the glove closing around the bag, or the ball, and the foot depressing the bag.
So from that vantage point, Christy, do you think there is enough to overturn given how close this is?
Call in the field is going to be confirmed. She's going right there. She's here.
See, Christy, you were smart. You waited till the call came.
I agreed with you and Amanda. I don't think we had enough evidence to change that call.
And again, for close plays at first, Christy, it is the ball in the not just in the glove, but when the glove begins to close.
Now the center fielder, number 9, Cheyenne Factor.
So will go as a bunt base hit for Alexander, her 19th bunt hit of the season, and bring up Factor.
Factor had a really good swing against Delbray earlier in this game. Back in the first inning, that ball that took Kendra Falby into the wall.
Only 3 hits in this NCAA tournament, but 6 RBIs for Factor. Lays down a bunt. Gels has no play. Oklahoma State, the Super Squeezers. Back-to-back bunts for a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and because this was a first and third play with Cottrell at third and Alexander at first, Coach Gajewski caught Hannah Adams breaking across the middle of the field for that first and third play that they would run if that pitch would be delivered. Factor lays it down perfectly. There's no play at home. Gels has no play at first because Hannah Adams was cutting across the middle of the field and not covering first base, and unexpected surprises in this inning.
Is that where you want to bunt to against a left-handed throwing first baseman? Avoid the possibility of a bare hand pickup with the right?
Yeah, you still like it back to the pitcher, but also for sure back to the left-handed first baseman. That works. Charlotte Eccles is so good over at third base. You know you don't want to put it there. How about this inning? All started with Julia Cottrell leading them off, getting them going.
3 consecutive bunts since, 1 sacrifice, 2 hits. Really, Oklahoma State is out Florida-ing Florida. Our friends at 643 Charts have done a great job. All kinds of stats for us this year. Look at the infield hit bunt difference. Florida with 23 more bunt singles than Oklahoma State. That is off the glove of Rowe. It's ball 4 anyway. So the runners were always going to move up. Bases loaded, 1 out for Miranda Elish. And who's going to face Miranda Elish? Here comes Tim Walton. We've already seen Natalie Lugo come in a bases loaded situation in this World Series. Tim has not to this point made a signal, and now it will be the right-hander Lugo coming on. So Lugo once again trying to put out an early fire. Oklahoma State in front.
This pepperoni was
Lexi Delbray 1+ inning on Thursday, 2 1/3 today. Gives up 1 run, comes out with the bases loaded. Natalie Lugo's used to coming in with the bases loaded, though. Down 1-0 with the bases loaded and nobody out in the second inning Thursday against Oregon State.
And she stepped into this role and owned it. Got a fly out and then a strikeout with that changeup that you will see her throw in this game. And then a ground ball to Hannah Adams to wiggle out of a big-time jam. She would go on for the rest of the game, and she was so good, even to the point where I'm sure Tim Walton was thinking, man, should I start her in this game? But she has been so good in relief, in that relief role, that he knows that he can go to her if somebody got in trouble.
6 innings of relief, 1 batter reached against her. But she's going to face Miranda Elish, the All-American here, the cleanup hitter for Oklahoma State. Elish takes ball 1. Alexander, Factor, and Carwile, the runners. Lexi Delbray watching as Natalie Lugo tries to get her way out of an even tougher jam in some ways, considering the quality of the hitters, than Thursday. Good stop by Rowe there on ball 2.
Yeah, because Natalie Lugo needs to feel confident to throw that off-speed pitch, that changeup in the dirt to Sam Rowe. Needs to be able to locate it through the strike zone and also throw it for a ball, seeing if she can get a hitter to chase it. She's got to trust that Rowe will stop it.
Elish to the second baseman, Adams gets 1 on to first, 2. Lugo does it again.
Natalie Lugo has so much confidence in her changeup and so much confidence in the Florida defense. Hannah Adams to Skylar Wallace to Gels, a double play to get out of another bases loaded jam. She is the stopper for Tim Walton.
Well, well.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Here with Oklahoma State head coach Kenny Gajewski and coach, 3 straight bunts to score a run just then. What were you seeing out on the field to make those calls?
Well, we just had the right personnel in there, and when they execute like that, we're really tough. And these type of games, you got to execute, and really nice job there. And we hit a ball really hard to Adams, and she's so good, and they turned that double play. But really good inning. Thought the at-bats really changed, and we're going to have to adjust to Lugo now.
And Florida's first 2 batters got on, and then it was 9 up, 9 down for Maxwell. What was the difference?
Yeah, she just wasn't very sharp to start. She just couldn't find her rhythm there, and she's kind of found it here, so she got to keep it up. It's going to be important to get a 0 up here now so we can get back up here and keep the momentum on our side. I can't let my buddy over there get too excited. He came out of that dugout pretty hot, so we got to match that.
We'll keep an eye on him, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is awesome, Drea. Kenny Gajewski is one of the best. My buddy over there in the dugout. Tim Walton was quickly on the field. He was Kendra Falby level speed out onto the field after that double play to end the third.
We'll keep an eye on it for Kenny with our 40 cameras, and then also the eyes that we have on the field too.
We got to have a Walton ISO somewhere on there. Right now, Kenny's got the upper hand. Part of the order here for Florida in the 4th. Well, I think one of our 40 cameras got Tim Walton.
He was the first one out of the dugout. That play, that stop by Hannah Adams, who just recently won the Gold Glove for second baseman in D1 softball, is an incredible play.
Wallace in the middle of that inning-ending double play. Takes ball 1 from Maxwell. Eccles, Walsh to follow in the heart of the Gator order. Skylar Wallace, who is the starting shortstop for Florida, has also played first base to start this year, played some second when Adams was out with a hand injury. The Gators' only All-American this year.
And she's such a patient hitter up at the plate. Oftentimes will take the first pitch. She'll take the first strike also that she sees. Only swings at a first pitch 8% of the time.
Amazing number. Again, this is from the folks at 643 Charts who've been working with us this week. 4.7 pitches per plate appearance, so that number is going to go up.
Yeah. And the real treat, I think, would be if she gets 2 strikes. Her batting average with 2 strikes is over 420. 2 strikes against lefties, Kelly Maxwell's pretty shut down. All right. Ask and you shall receive.
This is one of those unstoppable force, immovable object type of battles here. All-American, All-American.
Against lefties this season with 2 strikes, Skylar Wallace's batting average is, you're not even going to believe this, 556.
Come on.
But Kelly Maxwell against lefties with 2 strikes, batting average is .054.
What do you major in again?
Yeah, not math.
It seems like it's math. You're very excited about numbers.
I do like numbers.
That's a strikeout. The Maxwellian numbers better than the Wallacean types. Strikeout number 5 for Kelly.
Use that curveball, the pitch before, to go to the drop ball inside, little bit off speed. Kelly Maxwell, that pitch that tumbles over the top. Man, so tough to hit. 3 strikeouts in a row now for Maxwell.
You know what's great? We're going to sound smart either way because there was going to be one number that would fit the result.
That's true.
That's a foul ball to start Eccles.
But you look at her mechanics, Kevin, and what helps her have such good movement, such good velocity, such good command, everything that a pitcher needs to have in order to be successful at this level. One thing that I pay closest attention to when she pitches is her head. It doesn't even move. So when she goes through her windup, just look at her head. It stays so still. And if your head is still, your eyes are still. And if your eyes are still, that means your target where you're trying to throw it is also still. Look how locked in her head and eyes are. Another thing that I look at, a great mechanic that she has, is her drag. She drags on her toe. Her left drag leg, her knee comes in underneath her to trigger for her to be able to use her bottom half to the best of her ability. I mean, her mechanics are just picture perfect. Her head, her drag, her glove hand is right on. There's so many different things that you can pick out about her that are just beautiful.
And it all adds up to that.
So take a look at her drag. This is her drag foot, toe down, heel up, back knee comes to her front knee. Such good mechanics.
Four strikeouts in a row. Kelly Maxwell didn't always have this kind of motion and this kind of windup either. It's changed over her time in Stillwater. Even got a smile out of her there.
Yeah. Don't see that all too often.
Got ahead of Reagan Walsh here.
But yeah, in her windup now, the ball never leaves her glove until her arm comes above her head. When she first got to Oklahoma State, her ball hand would come out of her glove and she would do more of a swing back motion. They went ahead and took that out, thought that it wasn't helping her. Too many people were picking her pitches. And so she went to this motion here. Has had a ton of success with it. Something that she worked really hard on. Something that's not easy to change for a pitcher is to change your wind-up motion, your pre-motion, and your pitch. But something that she committed to work hard at with her pitching coach, Kyla Hollis in Houston, his former head coach at the University of Houston.
There are a lot of great freshmen playing in this game and this tournament. And if you can play as a freshman, you can go ahead and play. But it doesn't always work that way. Kelly Maxwell took a redshirt year. Kenny Gajewski brought that to her. She was okay with it. She took a gamble, and she got better sitting out her first year.
Yeah, and it's all about growth, too. It wasn't necessarily an ideal situation for a pitcher to get to college and say, okay, you're going to have to wait another year before you actually get to pitch in college. But, I mean, she'll even tell you herself she just wasn't very good her true freshman year. Had a conversation with Coach Gajewski about making some changes, and she put in the work to get to this spot right here.
2 strikeouts in the inning, 4 in a row. Walsh gets a piece, high chopper to short. 1, 2, 3 for Maxwell. 12 in a row retired for Kelly Maxwell. Tim Walton's Gators trying to solve her. Tim will join Drea next.
Back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One, here with Florida head coach Tim Walton. And coach, 12 of the last batters retired by Kelly Maxwell. What adjustments can your batters make to get to her?
Well, we came in with a plan of really making sure that we keep ourselves in a good hitting window, because our pitch down is so good with such good movement and such good break. And we haven't been able to lay off that pitch. That's obviously the key. We got to do a good job of keeping it in our window. Obviously we had a chance in the first inning, but we just got to do a better job being a little bit more disciplined.
And you had bases loaded, 1 out. You bring in Natalie Lugo. A double play is turned. What gives you the confidence to put her in those high-pressure moments?
Well, I think she's given me the confidence. She's come in and delivered time after time after time after time. And obviously Lexi pitched good again today. Just some good plays by them, and we just weren't able to make a play. But I thought overall, Natalie's ready. She's capable, and she's here to do it for us and keep us in the game.
Coach, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This was the double play, Drea, to get out of the third inning. Bases loaded, 1 out against an All-American Miranda Elish.
Yeah, she relied on that changeup. Lugo did, and Elish hit that ball hard. It was just right at Hannah Adams, who turned it to Wallace, to Gels. A double play made by that Florida defense, made with the pitch that Lugo executed to get out of that jam.
In Florida's last 4 games, Natalie Lugo has entered in relief of Lexi Delbray. All 4 games. She came in game 2 of the Super Regional against Virginia Tech with 2 on. Game 3 with 2 on. Got out of both of those jams. Came in with the bases loaded on Thursday. Got out of it. Bases loaded today. Got out of it. So 10 runners inherited in the last 4 games. Supers and World Series, and all 10 stranded. Florida does have a change here. Emily Wilkie is the new catcher, and Tim Walton just wanted to make that substitution clear. Wilkie replacing Rowe here in the 4th to work with Lugo.
And Natalie Lugo has really good mechanics too. I mean, if we're going to talk about Kelly Maxwell's mechanics, you take a look at Lugo's mechanics too, and she's so smooth, has that good drag that we mentioned with Kelly Maxwell. And of course, you can see she has a different windup than Kelly Maxwell. She has that arm swing back behind her right there. So there's not just one way to deliver a pitch, to have a pre-motion. There's a lot of different ways. It's all about coming up with the best way for you and how to execute your own pitches.
Two-1 for Sydney Pennington. Can you get a sense from Lugo, and I know we saw her for 6 innings on Thursday, of why her changeup is so hard to pick up? Because Oregon State didn't touch it on Thursday night.
Yeah, she must not change her grip because of the fact that she comes out of her glove. There has to be another pitch likely that she uses the same grip that is a much more firmer speed. Or else it would be too easy to pick. And in this day and age, if you come out of your glove and you have one different grip for that changeup, then the team is going to be all over it to relay it to the hitter.
Leadoff walk here, which gives us a chance to tell you about tomorrow night at Wrigley. Sunday Night Baseball, a fierce rivalry. We saw a fierce rivalry earlier today, Oklahoma, Texas. We're going to see one of baseball's best rivalries, the Cardinals and the Cubs. Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, ESPN, ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app. There's a changeup bunted by Petty. Second sacrifice bunt, 4th successful bunt for Oklahoma State today as Pennington takes second.
And just all about committing to the execution and committing to putting down bunts to move runners. Remember, Carly Petty, she's the home run hitter from the other night. He still has her turn around or square around and put the bunt down to advance a runner into scoring position. They have been so good with the short game in this game.
Only her second sack bunt of the season. Strike 1 to Busby.
That changeup, by the way, when Lugo threw it against Oregon State, the whiff rate on her changeup was 61%. Which is, translation, really good, really high.
Right. You're up around 35-40%. That's really good. 61%, that's elite. And it's not like she only threw a couple of changeups. More than half of her pitches were changeups in that game.
She'll go to that pitch early. She'll go to it often in any count. There it is again. And what I'm seeing too is slightly different with that pitch is that she'll throw one that can stay a little bit more flat and through the zone for a strike. And then she can also bend it a little bit more down, almost like an off-speed drop ball. Not for sure if that's what she's trying to do or if that is just by accident, but I have a feeling she's totally meaning to do it.
This is chopped into the dirt by Petty, or Busby, beg your pardon. A ground out to Wallace at short as Pennington moves to third.
Yeah, so the last two pitches were changeups, so let's take a look at them. It was the called strike that was pretty much right at the knees that she brought it up just enough to get that called strike. And then with 2 strikes, made that changeup move down just a little bit more to get that hit off the end of the bat, feed a ground ball to Skylar Wallace.
Here's the ex-Gator Cottrell. On the ground and through. Julia Cottrell does it, her old team. Knocked one through the left side to score Pennington, and Oklahoma State has doubled the lead.
Julia Cottrell can be a bad ball hitter too. 2 hits for Cottrell against her former team and 2 pitches that she has seen. Gets that changeup, hits it off the end of her bat, but just seemed like she wanted to swing early in the count. Hard ground ball through the hole on the left side, and Cottrell pumped in an RBI.
He is 40% of the way to the full Mia Scott with 2 hits on 2 pitches. Did not start on Thursday. Taylor Tuck got the start. Kenny Gajewski's hunch has paid off tonight.
So you mentioned too, Kevin, that Cottrell has been in and out of the starting lineup past, month of May pretty much, and how about her making the most of the opportunity to get the start against her former team? 2 hits, 2 clutch hits here in the 3rd and 4th.
Her leading home run hitter, a couple of singles today. She'll hold on this block by Wilkie. Riley Naomi, a sacrifice bunt, her first time up. That's ball 3.
I feel like too that we've seen in this World Series how important it is to get your leadoff hitter on. Both innings that Oklahoma State has done that the past 2 innings. They've scored, but you're saying it last night, you're saying it on Thursday, making the most of the opportunities. You have so many different things that you can do when you get that leadoff hitter on base. And again, it goes back to the execution for Oklahoma State.
There's a walk for Naomi. Her 3rd walk of the World Series in 5 plate appearances. And the Cowgirls will flip the lineup card to Alexander.
Now batting on the field, number 55, Chelsea Alexander.
Alexander, a bunt base hit her last time up. Corners are drawn in. Chelsea takes the ball. We're going to get a visit to the circle. Looks like Mike Bosch will make the trip to talk to Lugo. The Women's College World Series continues with the Championship Series, where hopefully there'll be a lot more Baby Shark played Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2022 Women's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Feels like the Gators fans are at home here with the Baby Shark. Kind of looks like the Gator chomp.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You're a big Baby Shark fan. You're a stan.
Oh, it comes on, and I just don't even know what to do with myself. It's my jam.
Well, the first run allowed by Lugo in the NCAA tournament here has doubled Oklahoma State's lead. And with Kelly Maxwell in the circle, the Cowgirls are looking to put this game a little bit further out of reach.
think the best plan of attack, too, for that changeup out of the hand of Lugo is to take it like Alexander did just then. Make her bring that pitch up, make her throw it for a strike, prove that she can today. Good curveball there. She can also mix in those pitches, too. Throw a curveball, a backdoor curveball, and also a rise.
Hitter. Alexander hit by a pitch, and that will load the bases for Factor.
So impressed, and I continue to be impressed by Cheyenne Factor. Remember in her first at bat against Delbray, she ripped a double to center field. But going back to the fact that Kenny Gajewski is all about execution right now, he had her lay down the squeeze bunt to score the first run of the game. Unpredictable, being able to execute, and every single person is getting in on this bunting execution, this small ball execution for Coach Gajewski. They're committed to it, and they're buying in.
2 hits tonight have traveled about 220 feet combined. One was about 215. That's a little high. Factor with an RBI in 8 of her last 11 games. A home run in the World Series last year and Oklahoma State's lone win. The winner of this game gets tomorrow off and will play Monday, needing 1 win for the Champ Series. Factor waited back and fouled it away. Again, if you lose this game, the loser has to play UCLA tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock local. You beat UCLA, then you have to beat Oklahoma twice on Monday. It's not an elimination game, but it is as close to one as it can be. Lugo trying to leave him loaded again.
Again, doing a good job of taking that pitch, doing their homework, watching how Lugo threw that pitch against Oregon State and had success with it, but choosing to take it, choosing to lay off of it.
Three and two. Cottrell, the lead runner at third with an RBI in the inning. Naomi and Alexander behind her. The senior Lugo, the senior Factor on 3-2. It is fouled away.
Talk about a chance right now to just bust this game open. Speed at second base, speed at first base with Alexander. You find a gap, you're liable to clear the bases.
Seventh pitch to Factor. She hits it on the ground to Wallace, and that's the inning. Lugo leaves him loaded again, but Oklahoma State gets one more as Cottrell wins the battle of former battery mates.
Is Juliet Cottrell stepping up for an RBI. First pitch she saw, it wasn't beautiful, but it did the job against her former team. Oklahoma State up 2-0.
It's still the
mission.
And there's a rocket, and that is launched deep to left and out of here. A 2-run shallow shot for Oklahoma.
Jocelyn Otto extended her all-time home run record with number 118. Time for our bracket update, brought to you by Enterprise, which sees the Sooners moving on to semifinal Monday. They're 1 win away from a return to the Champ Series. UCLA faces the winner of this game tomorrow. We'll have Arizona, Texas tomorrow night. And the winner of this game will play Monday night. Winner of this game Hey, you get a day off. That's nice. Get to enjoy the sights, maybe take in a farmer's market, go to Bricktown. And then B, the winner of this game will face either unseeded Arizona or unseeded Texas. Not that that really means anything at this point, but you just need to win 1 out of 2 games against those teams. And Oklahoma State, if they win, well, they've already beaten Arizona a couple of days ago, beat Texas this year. So they would be feeling rather good about themselves. But they've got to get 9 more outs to get there. Kelly Maxwell to Cheyenne Lindsay.
Whoa.
Good start for Florida. Kendra Falbia had only the 3rd bunt single against Maxwell this year. Hannah Adams walked. Nothing since. 12 up, 12 down.
Good ball right here.
Really goes to show how good she is, just being able to make in-game adjustments. I mean, she just did not look the same in that first inning. Then she came out in the top of the second, went 3 up, 3 down, got 2 strikeouts in that inning, and really hasn't looked back since. That's why it was so important when you look back to that first inning when Florida got their first 2 hitters on, no outs, and able to capitalize in that moment.
Another strikeout for Maxwell. That's 7. She struck out 5 of the last 6.
And her rise ball is so good. Just a perfect spot up and in on the hands. And Cheyenne Lindsay to chase that pitch. I like the spots that Maxwell is hitting with that rise ball, being able to expand the strike zone even a little bit more, kind of what we were talking about whenever she pitched against Arizona, Kevin, looking for that rise ball that was even just a little bit more out of the zone. She's doing that today.
As she said after the game, she felt her changeup was too firm, and her rise ball was her go-to pitch. 14 strikeouts against Arizona. Many of them came on that rise. Blows that one by Kistler with a little oomph behind it. A velocity matching the pitch counter.
And we talked to her before Super Regionals. Asked her why she started pitching, and she said, well, you know, being left-handed, I could only play pitcher or outfield or first base, and so she stuck with pitching. Asked her, what's your advice to young girls who are young pitchers out there? And she said, speed doesn't matter. Speed isn't everything.
That has popped up to Petty. Drea, what you got?
Well, you all talked earlier about Kelly Maxwell's freshman year and struggling a little bit and redshirting, and she said that she actually learned from Sam Shao that year, her confidence, how she approached every day, and how hard she worked. She said she has a different personality than Sam, but feels she's able to replicate her grittiness and aggressiveness.
Sam Shao was such a big influence, Dre, on so many of these Cowgirl players. 3 years since Sam Shao defeated Florida in the Super Regionals, and her name still comes up in conversation with these Oklahoma State players. Nearly as many wins this season as the last 2 combined, way more complete games.
She's just a pitcher that has built and built and built every year. Oftentimes that you'll see pitchers come into college and they're the same pitcher as a freshman that they were as a senior, but she has dedicated herself to growing and becoming better every single year.
14 straight retired on this Saturday night. Wilkie pops it up, and we'll see another pitch.
Remember last year too, she had Carrie Eberly, and Kelly Maxwell was more so their number 2. Carrie Eberly would get more of the bigger games and did a good job with those bigger games. This year she has just thrived as the ace.
An 0-2 for Wilkie. Down she goes. Maxwell with her 22nd strikeout of the World Series and her first looking.
Kelly Maxwell putting on a pitching clinic here at the Women's College World Series. It is an honor to watch her pitch from the left-hand side. The way it moves is unparalleled.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series, presented by Capital One. Not what you see every day. Dirt in a Ziploc bag. Some of the Oklahoma State players sprinkled it on the field before their game with Arizona Thursday. That is dirt from Cowgirl Stadium. Miranda Ellish was asked about it after the game on Thursday. She said, "We were seeing dirt on the bus all week. I didn't know what it was. I kept wondering why Coach G had a bag of dirt on his seat." And then Kenny told him before the game he brought dirt from Cowgirl Stadium and he wanted to make Hall of Fame Stadium feel like home. So some of the players took that dirt and sprinkled it on the field. And hey, they're playing like they're in Cowgirl Stadium so far.
It's true. Comfortable, executing, confident.
This has already been really Oklahoma State's major stadium this year. Just in the World Series as Carlisle takes strike two. 5-game losing streak to end the regular season. They're unbeaten since 8 in a row. A couple of those came here at the Big 12 tournament. In the air to right from Carlisle. Just 3 weeks ago, Big 12 tournament. Oklahoma State had not won a conference tournament championship since the Big 8 in 1992, but Kylie Naomi took an 8th-inning walk with the bases loaded. And then Morgan Day, a winning pitcher, came in relief in the 4th, shut down the Sooners to set off a true Bedlam celebration for an Oklahoma State Big 12 title. Only Oklahoma's second loss this season. And Oklahoma State has now beaten Oklahoma the last 2 years. It's still been a lopsided rivalry, and Oklahoma did sweep OSU at the end of the regular season. But Day was awesome, and Oklahoma State had the kind of win that Kenny Gajewski and this program have not seen for decades.
Well, remember when Miranda Ellish went down in terms of pitching, not being able to pitch anymore and got hurt in that Texas series. They went on a little bit of a losing streak. Now they played tough competition during that time, but couldn't figure out a way to win. And Coach Gajewski even said we were kind of in a depressed mindset because she was such a big part of our team. And then they were finally able to move on, and it seemed like it was the Big 12 tournament that really pushed them to a new level to start that win streak.
They have bonded at the right time. School out. All their focus on the softball field. Something Oklahoma State's done the last couple of years. At the end of the season, they've taken a brief retreat to Broken Bow in Oklahoma. Went there for the selection show. Spent some time at a big house there out on the lake. Went swimming, went on the boat. I feel like it's been an important bonding activity for them at the end of the last 2 seasons. 2-2 for Ellish. Lugo works it full. Ellish show for 2 tonight. Takes a walk. Fifth walk of the tournament for Ellish, who reaches base for the 11th straight game. And Kenny Gajewski will bring in a pinch runner for her.
See where Hannah Adams is playing up the middle of the field there. And even Avery Gels, playing off the first base line.
Looked like you're drawing an engagement ring there. The stone on top.
So many different ways my mind is going right now, but I'm just going to leave that be.
Well, you were looking at our colleague Alyssa Lang's lovely engagement ring the other day. Inspired by it.
I just want to draw it. Can't help myself.
Congratulations to Alyssa, our colleague, who will be on SEC Now with Caleb Rowe as long as the Gators are playing. So the pinch runner Avery Hobson at first. And strike one to Pennington.
I have a feeling they're going to continue to try to work her on the inner half. Had a lot of success 2 nights ago against Arizona on the outer half. So there are 2 hits that she had against Arizona on a curveball. This is the first one. She barreled up toward the right side. I was surprised to see Arizona go back to that outside pitch. It was a little bit further off the plate than her first hit. Was able to get a hit off of that pitch too. And then earlier in this game, Delbray getting her out on the inside corner, a fly ball to left field. It seems like right now, if you go outside to Pennington, you want it to be way out or maybe moving a little bit down too, but inside could be the way to get her out. And that changeup in the dirt just doesn't seem to be fooling them at all. I don't know if they have it picked or if they're just seeing it well out of her hand, but she's not getting any swing and misses on that changeup in the dirt or really even any hard takes. Looking like they're going to swing at it.
That's to third and Eccles. Just in time to get the pinch runner Hobson. Carly Petty. First pitch right to Gels. A scoreless 5th for Lugo. 6 outs to go for Oklahoma State. Bottom then the top against Maxwell. We're through 5 innings, maybe. The last play of the inning is under review. Challenge was used on the potential fair foul ball off the bat of Petty.
We're going to uphold the call on the field. Don't go right here. She got an out.
And so Oklahoma State used a challenge here, thinking maybe the ball was foul when Gels grabbed it, and the call is upheld upon further review.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of different looks during the break of this play, and not one that shows that that was for sure a foul ball, so it will be upheld as an out.
And there you have it. Not much more to say about that, really. It's good, solid, clean analysis. 6 outs to go for Oklahoma State. Kelly Maxwell in that last inning picked up her 300th and 301st strikeouts of the season. How about this list? Third pitcher to have 300 strikeouts for OK State, Lauren Bay, Canadian Olympian, Melanie Roach, Australian Olympian, and now Kelly Maxwell, 301 on the season in just 181 innings. Hey, look, Kelly Maxwell's our Capital One rewarding performance.
Yeah, I've been pitching a gem in this game, especially after the first inning with the way that she has settled in innings 2 through 5. Looked unhittable at times. Tons of swing and misses, rise ball, drop ball, working that curve ball too. She has been so good when she got through the first.
To this point in the World Series, a swing and miss rate of 46%. So 46% of the time, Arizona and Florida have swung at Maxwell's pitches. They've missed. All after a Falby bunt single and an Adams walk started the game, and then Maxwell hung a curveball to Charlotte Eccles, got a pop out on it, didn't strike out a batter in the first. She has struck out 2 batters in each of the 4 innings since. Let's reset the bracket for you because this is a new format this year. Tomorrow the crossover begins. Texas jumps out of the dayside bracket into the night. Texas will play Arizona in a loser leaves town game. We're back on ABC tomorrow afternoon. UCLA trying to keep hope alive against the loser of this game. Winner of this game gets a day off and then gets to play Monday night against the Arizona-Texas winner. Oklahoma and this game's winner will need to win 1 of a potential 2 games to advance. They would need to lose twice in the same day. So the advantage of winning this game, major, major, major. Not only do you have more margin for error, but you get another day off. Avery Gell's the leadoff hitter for Florida in the 6th. You know, the last few years, we've kind of changed our tune at the World Series, saying the days of needing just 1 pitcher to win the World Series are over. With the new format, I wonder if that's still going to be the case, because you win day 1, you get a day off. You win day 3, you get a day off. Oklahoma State wins. I think we know who's getting the ball on Monday.
Yeah, completely. And
this is from Gels to second. No play for Petty. First base runner since the first inning for Florida.
Avery Gels has just been bringing the energy, the bottom of the lineup for these Florida Gators. She gets jammed, but is able to hustle this hit out and just slow developing play. Carly Petty didn't look like she could get a good grip, or maybe just decided not to throw it, but totally gets jammed. You see where that pitch made contact on her bat. Either way, this is a good situation for Florida to get that leadoff hitter on with the top of their lineup coming up.
The only other Gator with a hit, Kendra Falby. Shows bunt. That's foul. "36 steals this year for Kendra Falby. Not many have apprehended her.
Yeah, both Tim Walton and Kenny Gajewski are so good at reading defenses, paying attention to where the infielders are moving. Whenever they put runners in motion, whenever they have hitters square around, they're both so good at doing that. Just really owning how to use small ball.
Strike 3 to Falby. She's down swinging for the second time.
That pitch registered at only 66 miles an hour, but I guarantee to Falby it felt like 72. Curveball, she just blows it by her. That off-speed pitch before made this pitch feel harder. And the pop of the glove is just, you know, a fan favorite. Or maybe it's my favorite.
When Kelly Maxwell pitches, it's a lot of people's favorite. That's 9 strikeouts for her. In the Super Regionals and the World Series, opposing batters are 1 for 31 with runners on against Kelly Maxwell. The one was that Charlize Palacios home run on Thursday night.
But she hit that off of that off-speed drop ball that she just wasn't really feeling the other night. Left it flat. Palacios, the type of hitter that she is, just barreled it up. And she hit that so hard.
Well, Adams has the only walk tonight for Florida. Wallace, the possible go-ahead run on deck.
So the top of the order that has just been so good for Florida, and got to give Avery Gels some credit for doing it in the 9 spots. So 9 and then 1 through 5 in the NCAA tournament have just been so good, and Falby and Wallace have scored a ton of runs.
That's a walk for Adams, her second. Florida's going to bring the go-ahead run to the plate with 5 outs left in the game. And Morgan Day is up in the Oklahoma State bullpen. Those of you looking for Top Rank Boxing, that's over on ESPN News. We'll get you to boxing here when we finish, but we're a long way from that. Plus, who can find a better prize fight than this? Maxwell against Wallace. Starts her with a strike.
Look at the numbers. It's been Skylar Wallace who has had the best offensive year for Florida.
The redshirt junior against the redshirt junior. Sat out last season after a transfer from Alabama. A .399 hitter on the year, even better with runners in scoring position. Is first or second in basically every offensive category for Florida.
The way her offensive game has grown has been what stuck out to me since she transferred from Alabama. Didn't play last year, had to sit out, has grown as a leader for Florida.
Cottrell and Maxwell with a meeting in the circle. And John Barkfeld's going to make a rare visit as well. I'm about to say something I feel like I've said 3 nights in a row. We have a new single session record at the World Series. 12,533 the day 3 attendance. Just keeps getting better every year at this place.
Such a big moment in this ball game, and that's why you're seeing it take a little bit longer. Just not wanting to let this moment in the game get away. Coach Barkfeld coming out to talk to Kelly Maxwell and Julia Cottrell how to approach arguably the best hitter in the lineup for Florida, the game on the line. At Alabama, average was down a bit, slugging percentage was down, and not as many RBIs or home runs. It's a couple of seasons at Alabama, but this season, those numbers are up, stolen bases way up, all those categories leading this Florida offense.
Maxwell's 2-1. After the visit, a crisp delivery for strike 2. Where's your head if you're Wallace right now?
Probably telling yourself not to swing at that ball in the dirt, which is not what you should be telling yourself. See the ball up.
She saw it up. She blasted it foul, well out of play.
Yeah, and that swing alone tells you a lot about her mindset. And what Coach Walton told us to Drea in his interview of make her bring the ball up, taking that drop ball out of her repertoire today by taking it. We're to go to that pitch now, though.
Talked about trying to find the hitting window. That's popped up by Wallace. Infield fly rule in effect for an automatic second out. Naomi grabs it to be certain.
Let's take a look at how Maxwell threw Wallace. Started her with a curveball for a strike. Then threw back-to-back backdoor curveballs that just could not find the corner. Remember, Barkfeld came out at this point right here. After that, she went off speed, then up and in, and then back to that curveball in the outside corner, which is the same pitch she started the at-bat with for the out.
6 pitches to get Florida's best hitter. Now Florida's RBI leader in Eccles. Strike 1. Eccles on Thursday started 0 for 2. In her third at-bat, she launched her first home run since March 22nd. That is line foul.
Yeah, this is that home run that she launched. Pitch that was a mistake, and she's the type of hitter that will make you pay for mistakes. Been a while since she had hit a home run, and it was a good sign for the Gators that she was heating up a couple of nights ago.
Kells and Adams the tying runs. 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 6th. This next pitch will be Kelly Maxwell's 100th. And it will come after Julia Cottrell makes a visit.
You can just tell how big this inning feels for Oklahoma State and Cottrell and Maxwell and John Barkfeld. Trying to take control, communicate, over-communicate about what they want to throw, what's working, what she feels most comfortable with.
It isn't the end of the game, but it feels about as significant as can be. The cleanup hitter, Eccles, grounds one to the right side, grabbed by Busby, and the inning is over. Pitch number 100 does the trick. 6 scoreless for Maxwell, and the Cowgirls take the lead into the bottom of the 6th. Winners bracket game, Oklahoma State with a 2-0 lead on Florida. Lexi Delbray, Natalie Lugo have split the innings for the Gators. It's been all Kelly Maxwell in the circle for OSU. Cheyenne Factor, a first inning double, a third inning RBI bunt single. Julia Cottrell, the former Florida catcher, singled in Sydney Pennington in the 4th. And Kelly Maxwell will be left all alone in the dugout with Oklahoma State seeking its first 2-0 start at the World Series in almost 30 years. Oklahoma State is in the top 11 in terms of World Series appearances. That's relevant because every team in the top 11 all-time Women's College World Series appearances has a national title, except for Oklahoma State. With a win today, They're going to be 1 win away from the championship series. A postseason where Florida State, the number 2 seed, bowed out in the regionals. Virginia Tech, the 3 seed. Arkansas, the 4 seed in supers. Lily Busby sends one to center. Shortstop Wallace is there. Oklahoma State is the 3rd highest seed remaining. UCLA in the losers bracket. There's your number. Most World Series appearances without a title. This school with such a rich tradition. Obviously our own Michelle Smith, one of the great softball players in history. Also our own Mariah Gerhardt, graphics producer on Michelle's crew. A tremendous career at Oklahoma State. A lot of great players in Stillwater. Kelly Maxwell's etching her name onto that list, and she is pitching her team to the brink of the championship series. Little help from her battery mate tonight, too. Cottrell flares one out to center. This ball keeps traveling off the base of the wall, and Julia slides into second. 3 for 3 for Cottrell against her old pals from Gainesville.
And you know she's loving every second of it. Proven that she wants to hit early in the count, goes and gets this changeup. Look how she just stays on it. Almost carries that ball with her bat to the fence and almost got out of here. Hit the white part of the wall. Showing so much energy. Good idea by Kenny Gajewski to start Cottrell tonight. And everybody inside the Oklahoma State dugout is amped with her.
Natalie Lugo did not induce a swing and miss on her changeup tonight. And Florida will go to the lefty Riley Trilicek, and we'll go to break.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
3+ innings, only 1 run allowed for Natalie Lugo. She does leave with a runner at second, and she was not quite as sharp tonight. She did get out of a bases loaded jam in the 3rd, but Oklahoma State put together some good at-bats against the 5th-year senior Lugo. Julia Cottrell now 5 for 9, 2 walks in the NCAA tournament, 3 for 3 against her old team. Transferred from Florida to Oklahoma State. A decision that the folks in Gainesville are certainly ruing right now as Riley Trilicek takes the circle, 3rd Florida pitcher of the night. She'll face Naomi, starter with a strike.
Given that look from the left-hand side, she'll be more down in the zone with her curveball and her drop ball. Just seemed like the effectiveness of Natalie Lugo's changeup tonight wasn't quite there. 61% swing and miss rate against Oregon State with that pitch. No swing and misses against that changeup for Oklahoma State tonight.
Why do you think Oklahoma State was so good on the changeup?
I can't help but go back to Super Regional weekend, getting a look at another really good changeup pitcher like Millie Thompson for Clemson, even though she came from the left-hand side. Just that mindset of thinking of either sitting on that pitch and hitting something about 50 miles an hour, or just trying to completely take it away from a pitcher by taking that pitch when it was in the dirt. I mean, I think that the experience of hitting off of a good changeup pitcher like Millie Thompson helped these Oklahoma State hitters.
Sack bunt and a walk for Naomi tonight. That's foul. Now, Kylie Naomi hasn't hit for power here in the World Series, but in 5 plate appearances, 3 walks, 1 single, a stolen base, and a sacrifice bunt. And she's been on base 4 out of 5 times, and the other one was a sack bunt. Naomi to shortstop here. Whoa. I don't think that was what Cottrell would have done in hindsight. Wallace to Eccles for the fielder's choice out.
Remember, Kenny Gajewski has told us a few times now about some base running opportunities that Oklahoma State has run themselves out of innings. Not a great choice by Cottrell to run on that play. It's unfolding right in front of her. Bad decision. She got thrown out at third base from the other night. Pennington trying to go get a double on a ball in the gap. She got thrown out at second base. We saw runners get thrown out in the Super Regional as well. Every base runner, every 60 feet matters so much. You can't make mistakes.
Cottrell will get ready to catch. Oklahoma State's going to send up a pinch hitter for Alexander. Bring a right-handed batter in against Trilicek. This is Morgan Wynn. .239 hitter who can run into one. 16 hits, 8 of those for extra bases.
Oklahoma State only up 2-0, but I can't help but just feels like a bigger lead for them. And really, it just has everything to do with Kelly Maxwell and the way that she's pitching tonight. It makes that 2-run lead seem like it's 4 runs or 5 runs.
It will be 5-6-7 for Florida in the 7th inning. Walsh, Lindsay, and Kistler are a combined 0 for 6. Win 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter this year, with Naomi at first. There she goes, and Wynn flares one out of play. Wynn goes down. Good job by Trilicek. Junior yet to allow an earned run in the postseason. 5-6-7, last chance for the Gators, down by 2. For Kelly Maxwell, Oklahoma State is 3 outs away from advancing to the national semifinals. Small ball has led to a couple of Cowgirl runs.
And Cottrell got on with a single, and then Naomi sacrifice bunted her over to second base. And then on a full count, 2 strikes, Chelsea Alexander laid down a bunt to find her way on. And then 2 pitches later, Factor would lay down the squeeze play. So in that inning, Oklahoma State would lay down 3 different bunts. They would execute it, waste no time. There were no even fouled pitches with the bunts. Great execution by Oklahoma State gave them the lead and the momentum to Maxwell.
9 strikeouts, 2 walks for her tonight. 5-6-7 due up for Florida. Reagan Walsh first to the plate. Takes a strike.
How often do you see a 2-strike bunt laid down for a hit like that? Surprise factor.
Followed by Cheyenne factor. Couple of ground outs to short for Walsh. That's a strike. Maxwell a confident start to the 7th. 4 starts in this NCAA tournament for Kelly Maxwell. 4 double-digit strikeout games. Tonight, her 5th start of the tournament. She is 1 strikeout away from reaching double digits again.
Right on par with her 40% whiff rate for the season. Has that in this game too.
A 1-2. Walsh in the air to right field. This ball is caught by Petty. It was free falling the whole way. It ended up right in Carly Petty's glove for a big first out.
Yeah, off the bat, it looked like that ball was going to have eyes and just drop in that triangle out there. Trust in Busby and Carwile to communicate for Carly Petty to come away with a catch. An important first out.
She had not started at second base for about 3 months since the end of February. She just got that position back from Bree Evans the last couple of weeks. A home run last night, a huge defensive play tonight to start the 7th. Pinch hitter for Florida, this is Sarah Longley, who takes a strike.
Put in a righty for a left-handed hitter, Cheyenne Lindsay, who had 2 strikeouts.
Longley 0 for 12 this year as a pinch hitter. Down 0-2 after a hard swing. Loser of this game has a 2 o'clock local, 3 Eastern date with UCLA tomorrow. The winner has a day off. It's a Florida team that was up and down during the season, 5th in the SEC. They've had a great postseason. They are not dead until the final out's recorded. So good late in games.
Kelly Maxwell has such good command that when she throws one that is clearly a blatant ball like that, it kind of stops you in your tracks. Every pitch has a purpose for her. And I think that is maybe the best way to say it, that she pitches every single pitch with a purpose. There's no blatant balls that are easy takes for a hitter to go ahead and see it out of the hand and take right away. Everything out of her hand tunnels like it's going to be a strike and has different movement at the end and different speeds too.
2-2 to Longley. That is ripped by Sarah Longley. Her first pinch hit of the season after an 0 for 12 start. How about Tim Walton pulling that card out of the back of the deck? Gators will bring the tying run to the plate.
Sarah Longley just went up swinging. Gets a curveball that is a backdoor curveball trying to make its way, catch the corner, and caught too much plate. Longley's just on it. 2-strike hit for Longley and her pinch hit appearance.
And Lindsay will return to the game to run for Longley. So the tying run is Katie Kistler. Only 1 home run on the season, but a .438 on base percentage. Kistler with a grounder foul.
Looks like Coach Walton's going to want to come talk to Kistler. Talk to everybody. Amanda Lorenz is coming over. Cheyenne Lindsay coming over. Eric Thomas, assistant coach for them, coming over.
Right now this is a Tim and Eric conversation. Emily Wilkie, the on-deck hitter.
Wouldn't you love to have them mic'd up and be able to hear exactly what they're saying?
Tim and Eric's awesome show out by the Florida dugout. Kenny Gajewski took the opportunity to chat with his infield. Oh, 1 for Kistler. That is off the glove of Cottrell. And that run is going to have to score anyway, but it at least removes the force possibility at second on a pass ball.
I just hit off the end of her glove, and you could see right when it hit off the end of her glove, she took her eye off the ball, was looking at Lindsay, seeing if she was going to steal. Great look to be able to see that. It's a good time to remind everybody, too, Florida has the speed. They have speed at second base. They have speed at the bottom of their order with Kistler up to bat right now, and at the top, who was just dying to get back up to the plate and have a chance to win this game.
Up and in, hitter. A hit by pitch. And Florida will bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Well, hang on a second. Tim Walton's called for a challenge. Kistler's already at first, but if Tim Walton's asking for review, then we must have a foul ball call. Terry Holt's going to bring the umpires together. Kistler certainly believes she was hit. She is shaking out her right hand, and the umpires will get together to discuss. So we'll get a review.
Yeah, to me, that's a clear hit by pitch. They're going to look at to see if it was off the knob of the bat or off of her.
Certainly looks like it got the wrist. Did it get the knob as well, I guess is the question.
Foul, right here, off the knob, right here.
So you do hear from Terry Holt. Obviously the call on the field is a foul ball. We'll need, there it is again, indisputable video evidence to overturn it. If this is reversed, it means Florida would bring the go-ahead run to the plate with one out.
In all fairness, I kind of think it hit both. I think it hit her wrist and the knob of the bat. Katie Kistler's like, yeah, I did feel it hit me. I felt every mile per hour of that 66-mile-an-hour pitch. Okay, going back, look, I think it maybe wrist, then knob of the bat. It does look like both.
Christy Cornwell, our rules analyst, is with us. Christy, if the ball hits both the wrist and the knob, then what's the call?
Well, they're going to have to decide whether it hit her first. If it hit her first before it hit the knob, they can give her a hit by pitch. If they think it hit both simultaneously, they'll have to keep her in the box. Rule on the field will stand.
And Christy, how important then is the call on the field standing as a hit by pitch?
This is a critical moment. So this is a very tough call. It's very close, and these are really difficult plays to see for the home plate umpire.
Christy Cornwell, our rules analyst, thank you. And again, the call on the field was a foul ball. So what you hear from Christy there is important. Does it hit the wrist before the knob, or is it simultaneous? Again, the difference is if it's a hit by pitch, go ahead, run to the plate, one out. If it's not, it's a 1-2 count.
We're going to set the ruling on the field. It's right there. We're going to be a dead ball, foul ball, off the knob.
So the umpires in the review center don't feel there was enough to overturn the call on the field.
Because you could definitely see her wrist move, but I think that Christy Cornwell hit the nail on the head, that it hit maybe at the same time instead of wrist first and then knob, which would have been the hit by pitch.
So the call upheld, a reprieve for Maxwell for a 1-2.
Ball.
The 6th pitch to the sophomore Kistler. The tying run at the plate here in the 7th. Kistler works it full. Nine for 18, 2 walks, a hit by pitch for Kistler in the NCAA tournament. Reach base about 60% of the time. She will chop one to second here. Petty throws her out. Oklahoma State is 1 out away. And Tim Walton will use another pinch hitter. This is Bryn Thomas, pinch hitting for Emily Wilkie. Well, Sarah Longley was 0 for the season as a pinch hitter. Bryn Thomas is 1 for 10 on the year. But Tim Walton's going to play a hunch. Her first at bat since April the 29th, with the game on the line.
I think clearly just thinking that right-handed hitters have a better chance off of Maxwell. Pinch hitting 2 left-handed hitters for 2 righties.
Does have some power in her bat, the redshirt junior Thomas. Hasn't had many opportunities to show it this year. Down 0-2. Morgan Days just run in from the bullpen. Kelly Maxwell would like to keep her in the dugout. Oklahoma State's All-American. We'll have to throw at least one more. Thomas's only hit of the season came on February 13th. Trying to keep her team out of the losers bracket on June 4th. In the air right side, Busby, the first baseman, makes the catch. Kelly Maxwell and Oklahoma State are 1 win away from the championship series. Oklahoma State's first team All-American throws a 9-strikeout shutout. The first shutout in the World Series in 24 years for the Cowgirls. They're going to enjoy an off day Sunday, and they need 1 win more on Monday night to make it to the championship series.
Yeah, and after Kelly Maxwell got through that first inning, she settled into this game to be herself. Through all of her pitches with her rise ball, her drop ball, her curve ball, changing speeds to make that off-speed drop ball more effective than it was a couple of nights ago. Kelly Maxwell getting the win, the complete game shutout tonight.
64 strikeouts now for Maxwell in the NCAA tournament. She has been a left-handed superhero. A redshirt junior who sat out her first year out of Friendswood, Texas. She is now an orange and black destroyer of worlds, and her offense did just enough to send Oklahoma State 1 step away from some uncharted waters.
And how about Juliet Cottrell tonight and the execution by Oklahoma State's offense for those 2 runs.
6 teams left. There will be 4 left after tomorrow. These elimination games on ABC, 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Quick turnaround for Florida against UCLA. Probably going to see Megan Faremo there. And then 2 unseeded teams, one of whom will make the national semis. Arizona and Texas on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. The longtime friends Kenny Gajewski and Tim Walton, the former college teammates at 2 different spots. Kenny gets the better of Tim today. Another great night at Oklahoma City. The World Series continues tomorrow on ABC, 3 Eastern, 2 Central, Florida and UCLA. Coming up next, Top Rank Boxing. Thanks for joining us. Good night from Oklahoma City.